Days of Our Lives.
Days of Our Lives ignites over Chad and Kat's date. The latest spoilers reveal a storm brewing as Jennifer Horton Devereaux, a beloved figure in the Horton family, returns to Salem alongside her husband, Jack Devereaux. Their homecoming, set for June 5, 2025, should be a moment of reconnection and solace, but it is overshadowed by devastating news and an unexpected romantic entanglement that threatens to tear Jennifer's world apart. As Jennifer grapples with grief and betrayal, her fury will erupt, targeting not only her husband but also Chad DiMera and the enigmatic Kat Green, whose controversial past has left scars on the Horton DiMera clan. A heartbreaking return to Salem. Jennifer and Jack's return to Salem is not driven by joy but by sorrow. The tragic news of John Black's death, a pivotal figure in Salem's history portrayed by the iconic Drake Hodgson, has sent shockwaves through the community. John, a man of strength, loyalty, and complexity, leaves behind a legacy that will be honored with a funeral that promises to draw many of Salem's residents together in mourning. For Jennifer, John's passing is a personal loss, stirring memories of their shared history and the bonds that tie the families of Salem. Her heart heavy with grief, she and Jack step back into a town that feels both familiar and foreign, unaware that an even greater emotional upheaval awaits them. As they arrive on June 5, the same day as John's funeral, the timing could not be more inopportune. Unbeknownst to Jennifer, this is also the day that Chad DiMera, widower of her late daughter Abigail DiMera, has chosen to embark on a romantic date with Kat Green, a woman whose name alone is enough to ignite Jennifer's wrath. The collision of these events sets the stage for a dramatic confrontation that will leave no one unscathed. A date that sparks outrage. Chad DiMera, still navigating the pain of losing his beloved wife, Abigail, has found himself drawn to Kat Green, a woman whose presence in Salem has been nothing short of controversial. On June 5, as Jennifer and Jack mourn John's loss, Chad and Kat plan to spend the evening together, their budding relationship taking a tentative step forward. Picture a cozy restaurant in Salem, dimly lit with soft music playing in the background, where Chad and Kat share a quiet moment, their conversation laced with the cautious hope of new beginnings. For Chad, this date represents a chance to heal, to find solace in someone who understands the weight of difficult choices. But for Jennifer, the sight of Chad and Kat together is a betrayal of the highest order. Imagine her walking into that same restaurant, arm in arm with Jack, her eyes scanning the room for familiar faces. Her gaze lands on Chad, laughing softly with Kat, their hands brushing as they share a moment of connection. The world seems to stop for Jennifer as her grief for John collides with the shock of seeing her son-in-law with her, the woman who dared to impersonate her daughter. The ghost of Abigail's impersonator. To understand Jennifer's fury, one must revisit the painful chapter of Kat Green's deception. Kat, under the coercive influence of the notorious Clyde Weston, posed as Abigail DiMera, convincing many in Salem that Abigail was still alive. For Jennifer, who had already endured the unimaginable loss of her daughter, this ruse was a cruel twist of the knife. The hope that Abigail might have survived, only to have it shattered by the truth of Kat's deception, left Jennifer reeling. Every memory of Abigail, her laughter, her kindness, her strength, was tainted by Kat's actions, making forgiveness feel like an impossible task. Chad, however, sees Kat through a different lens. He knows the truth: Kat was a pawn in Clyde Weston's dangerous game, forced to play along to protect her own mother. Chad's empathy stems from his own experiences with loss and manipulation, and he believes Kat deserves a chance at redemption. This willingness to forgive, to see Kat as more than her mistakes, is what drives a wedge between him and Jennifer. To Jennifer, Chad's sympathy for Kat feels like a betrayal of Abigail's memory, a dismissal of the pain her family endured. A mother's breaking point. As Jennifer witnesses Chad and Kat's growing closeness, her emotions spiral out of control. The spoilers hint at a complete breakdown, a moment where Jennifer's grief, anger, and sense of betrayal converge into a tempest. She turns her fury not only on Kat but also on Jack, who finds himself caught in the crossfire of his wife's emotional storm. Picture Jennifer pacing their Salem home, her voice trembling as she recounts the horror of seeing Chad with that woman. How could he, she demands, tears streaming down her face. How could he sit there with her, laughing, while Abigail's memory is trampled? Jack, ever the devoted husband, tries to calm her, his voice steady but laced with concern. He reminds her of Chad's own pain, of the loneliness that has haunted him since Abigail's death. But Jennifer is beyond reason, her anger fueled by the raw wound of her daughter's loss. To her, Kat is not just a woman with a complicated past. She is a symbol of everything that has gone wrong in Salem, a reminder of the lies and betrayals that have plagued her family. Can forgiveness find a way? The question looms large: is there any world where Jennifer can forgive Kat Green? For now, the answer seems to be a resounding no. Jennifer's anger is not just about Kat's actions but about what they represent, a violation of her daughter's legacy, a mockery of the love and loss that define her family. Yet, Days of Our Lives is a show built on redemption, on the idea that even the most unforgivable sins can be overcome with time and understanding. Could Chad's perspective eventually soften Jennifer's heart? Could Kat prove herself worthy of a second chance through actions rather than words? These questions will unfold in the weeks to come, as Jennifer grapples with her emotions and Jack works to hold their family together. The spoilers promise a dramatic return for Jack and Jennifer, one that will shake the foundations of their relationships with Chad, Kat, and each other. Salem, with its endless cycle of secrets and revelations, is the perfect stage for this emotional showdown. A town on edge as Jennifer's fury burns, the ripples will be felt throughout Salem. Chad and Kat's date, meant to be a private moment of connection, becomes a catalyst for conflict, drawing in those closest to them. Friends and family will take sides, some sympathizing with Jennifer's pain, others urging her to see Chad's perspective. The town, already mourning John Black, will find itself navigating yet another emotional minefield, proving once again that in Salem, peace is always fleeting. For fans of Days of Our Lives, this storyline is a reminder of why the show has captivated audiences for decades. It's a tale of love and loss, of forgiveness and fury, played out by characters who feel like family to viewers. As Jennifer Horton Devereaux faces this new chapter, her journey will resonate with anyone who has ever struggled to reconcile the past with the present, to find a way forward when the heart is heavy with grief. Stay tuned for the drama. The return of Jack and Jennifer to Salem on June 5, 2025, marks the beginning of a storyline that promises to be as heart-wrenching as it is compelling. Will Jennifer's anger consume her, or will she find a path to healing? Can Chad and Kat's relationship survive the storm, or will the weight of the past prove too much? And how will Jack navigate his role as the anchor for a family on the brink? For answers, viewers will need to tune in to Days of Our Lives, where every episode brings new twists and deeper emotions. In Salem, the days are never quiet, and the lives of its residents are always intertwined in ways that surprise and captivate. As Jennifer Horton Devereaux takes center stage, her fury and heartbreak will remind us all of the power of love, loss, and the enduring hope for redemption.